Alright guys, here we are. Made it. So this is a bit of a video. Dirk bought a new car. The Dirk Walton Pletner families. Flew down to Melbourne today to pick it up. So this LDV E60 2023 model has been sold and for sale, and I missed it and then I got it, so we finally got it. So it's a grey one. The white ones don't look any good, but the grey ones do. And here we are. I just want to show you the video. So it has 47 kilometres on the clock. I'm just going to set it up first. It looks nice. First impressions. I'm going to do a bit of a blog and just show you around this thing. So it's ready to charge, and we're going to drive back to Sydney. We're going to do the coast road back to Sydney. It's about 980 k's, actually to where I live. So see how we go with charging stations and all that as well. Alright, so here we are driving on the freeway heading out of Melbourne, and do you know what? It feels good. It's not, do you know what? It's not a bad car to drive. It does have a bit of power, a little bit. It's not huge. It's fairly quiet. The only thing that's really annoying, obviously going to take a bit of time to get used to, is the steering wheel. It just doesn't feel right. You turn it and it just keeps on going that way, so it's a bit annoying. Obviously get used to it. Coming from driving a 20-year-old BMW X5, the BMW does drive beautifully though, but this is just, it's a bit bouncy in the front. It just feels like something's loose. The rest of it's hard. The seats are hard. Just obviously got to get used to that as well. But the steering, it's just a bit funny. It's a bit twitchy. So we're currently doing 80 kilometers per hour. That's the speed limit here, and it says we've got 420k range at 80. Let's see how that goes. Obviously not going to do that. We'll probably end up being about 300k range, but we'll see how we go. First impressions are nice. It's plastic inside. Would never spend 100,000 on these things. Wouldn't spend 50 grand on this thing. But with a government grant, yes, it's worth it. Controls are nice and easy. The only thing annoying, it doesn't have cruise control, so maybe that can be upgraded or an option. It does have the buttons on the left hand side. Cruise control would be nice. It's easy to get a little bit too fast. So that's a tiny bit on the throttle, and it just creeps up. It's quiet. It's just that front steering is just a little bit funny. Maybe the tyres are too. Maybe the tyres need some more air in it, or something. And the other thing, it hasn't got a GPS on the screen. It uses a Q-Link mirror, so it mirrors your phone, which I didn't bring a cable for, so GPS is no-go. It's running off my phone at the moment. I haven't really had a good look at the screen. Maybe there is a GPS in there, maybe not, I don't know. So I'll see if I can spin it around the field. So this is heading towards Melbourne on the M2. It does have a bit of power. The BMW, as I said, 20 years old. We've got 350,000 k's on it, 3 litre petrol. That's lost a good amount of horsepower, that thing. But it still drives good, and it's just thirsty. That's the only problem. So let's have a look. See how we go. That was the cameras for the tolls. This car's got no plates on it, so see how we go with that. Here we are, going over Melbourne Bridge. Put the fan on. I'll run the aircon a bit later. Doesn't need it now. Just want to test it empty without running aircon. See if it makes a difference. So we've only done about 20 k's. And do you know what? It was a comfortable 20 k's. Southeast suburbs. Let's have a look. Yeah, just that steering. That's just a bit. Maybe needs a wheel alignment, or the tyres pumped up. It's just annoying. Alright, we've done about 80 kilometres, just on it, and it says 342k range. Just use the PlugShare app, and there's one at Mo, which is about 100 k's away, so obviously don't have to stop there, probably won't, but it's on the way anyway, so I'll have a look. I'll get some food and see how we go. I'll have to find a cable so I can plug it up to here. Let me have a look. Alright, so here we are back on the road. Picked up our second item, some bluestone pavers, and we're back on the motorway number 1 heading towards Warragul. So I've got that Tesla supercharger in my system, or in my GPS. Haven't found a cable yet, so when I get to the supercharger I'll find a cable. There's a Coles or a supermarket there, so I can get some food. Yeah. Nice. It is okay to drive. It's not perfect, but it's just a little bit bouncy. This is what we're doing at the moment. I'll show you a check through it. To service. That's the average speed. So the speed's been pretty slow for the city. That's the current speed. Battery volts look good. 57 amps. Doing about 8,000 RPM the motor is. Done about 95 k's already. Average is 18 kilowatt per 100 kilometre. And so the instance is pretty windy at the moment too, so we're not going to get a proper range reading, but I'll stop at 100 k's and we'll charge it up. Alright, here we are, we're in Mo. We've done about how many k's have we done? Done about 170 k's, so got in a Tesla charger here, but the bloody cable's a bit short, so I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to work that out. I don't know why is it doing that. So we're in the Tesla charger. It's a 250 kilowatt. Let's have a see how it's going. Alright, so here we are, we're in Mo in Victoria. It's on the highway heading back up. Bloody rough town, I tell you. I remember someone told me it's rough down here, but bloody hell, rough. Anyway, we're at a Coles and they've got two 250 kilowatt superchargers here. Let's have a look. What it's doing there. Bloody expensive, I tell you. That's $10 and we're only under 40 kilowatts. So that's 10 bucks to 50 kilowatts. It was a diesel, it was 6 litres per 100 kilometre, 6 litres, it's like, it's now $1.80, 2 bucks a litre, so it's $12 per 100 k's. This just put in a difficult range. I do the same. Obviously not going to charge us how it charges all the time, but Teslas are more expensive. So it took a couple minutes to start up, but now she's going. It's got no bloody lights on it. You don't have to do Alright, let's turn this music down. Alright, we've just done a quick charge in Mo, Victoria. So we only done 16 minutes, just enough to get some apples, a drink, and something to eat. So we've done 20 kilowatt hours. And that's how much was it? $15. So 20 kilowatt hours should get me about 100 k's going slow on the highway, no chance. But $15 per 100k on a supercharger. Next stop is about, it's not a Tesla one. Tesla obviously screws you. So the next stop we're gonna do is 234 kilometers away. Ooh. 234. I don't know my chances. Let's have a look if there's something in between. Let's have a look here. 234, maybe a bit far. Where's my other trip? 5 stops Mo. Ooh, 234. What do you reckon? I'll put some more in here. I'll just whack a bit more in, I think. Alright, so we're back up. I thought, you know what, I put a little bit of charge in. This one works well, it's quick. So my problem is, next charging stop is, where's my little map? This bloke here. And he is 2 directions. Let's have a look.
Head east towards Bell Street.
234 k's away, and now we're just back up to 290. So it's actually charging pretty quick. So I don't know if I can risk the 60 k's. I really don't know how this car drives. So 10 more minutes, and then we should be good. Otherwise, there's probably something else around, but I don't want to go. Don't have too many stops. That's pretty far. That's it. That's here. I haven't worked out what I'm going to do for dinner. I mean, for bed. So I might see if there's a hotel down there. All right, here we are back on the road. So I think we put about 20 bucks of power in. I think I got to double check, but at least we got up to about 324 range. It does actually charge pretty quick. If you were oops. If you were doing a shop there anyway, but it's bloody expensive, that's the thing. It's like twice the price of another charger. So yeah, this is rough around here, I tell you. Obviously household joints everywhere. So back on the road, still got a long way to go. Obviously, EVs, especially one like this that uses a lot of juice on highways, isn't made for highways. It's and we don't drive to Melbourne every week. If I did have to drive to Melbourne, I'd take my van. So no real dramas. So here we are at your lawn power station. I thought they shut these things down, but they're whoppers around the other side. I just driven past it. I took a photo, but yeah, look at it, charging me EV up with coal. Beautiful. Oh, the back country, very dry. Have a look at this. It hasn't rained here for ages. Anyway, back country road, doing about, sitting on 90, a little bit more, a bit under. You can feel that motor, the weight of the motor on the diff when you go over a bump, so it sort of backlashes and bounces. It's not annoying, but you can definitely feel it, like it's a, what they call it, unsprung weight, where the diff does bounce up and down with the motor hanging off the back of it. Anyway, we've got about 180 k's to the next charge stop. and we've got 250 range. So see how that pans out. We should have about 60 or 70 left.
Turn right onto Roadvale.
So see how we go. All right, we're in. Don't know where it is. Barnsdale. Another charge. We've got about 119 k's left, but we need to go about 90 k's. So let's see how this one works. This one's doing about 45 kilowatts, 50 kilowatts roughly. Well, this one's rated at 50 kilowatt. Let's have a look here. So we're doing. It's going on not too bad. 45 kilowatts up here. Let's see how much this one. This one's pretty expensive. It's 60 cents a kilowatt hour, so it's a bit much. We just need a little bit of juice to get to the next station, which is a lot cheaper. I could probably walk around, maybe go to a McDonald's down there. I'll walk down to the Macca's and have a look. Alright, so didn't put much in. Let's have a look how much we actually put in. Next stop is about, give me a look here. Next stop's 90 k's away, so we didn't really have to put much in. We didn't really have to put much in at all, really. But just don't know how quick the k's go after it goes down. Let's have a look at what we did. Charges passed. Cost us $7.88. So it's not cheap, and this one's expensive. So let's hit it. So this is, I think it's Barnsdale, I think it is. Yeah, Barnsdale. So little hick towns out here. It's a lot different to New South Wales. They've got little towns everywhere, and you can tell it was like gold rush and all this other type of stuff. So they're all like Federation houses in the middle of nowhere. Wide streets like this. So
Continue on A1 for 2 kilometres.
could find something to eat. It's getting a bit late. Here we are, coming down to Lake's entrance. Sun's out, looks good. I like this little town. Haven't really. Oh, do you know what? I might actually see if there's accommodation here. See how we go. But let's have a look here. I reckon it's going to be full. So probably shouldn't even bother looking, but. So, verdict after 360 k's, it's not bad, it's good. No one would ever pay 100 grand for this thing. 50 grand's even too much. But, yeah, if you can get it cheap as, well, if you can get it the same price as a diesel,
at the roundabout,
yeah, maybe,
Esplanade,
but
Princess
really,
Highway.
it's a nice town. It's a long way from anywhere, that's the only thing. I suppose Melbourne, 360. Canberra's also a long way away. Alright, so all up we've done about 410 kilometres. And really I've stopped once at that Tesla, once at the EV, I think it was. Tesla was a bit longer. So here we are, early start, we're in August. Highway's just down the bottom here, and we're about 3 k's to town, roughly. We've got about, I don't know, maybe 10 k's on the charge left. So we have to pretty much fully charge in August. It's a 50 kilowatt charger, so we're going to be there a while, unfortunately. I'll walk around town. Just going to go back and do a poo in the apartment. And then we'll hit the road. One thing I do like, you can just hop in this car, warm or cold, and it's just silent. There's no gears to shuffle through. And yeah, I know I compare it to the old BMW, 20 years old, but that's a beautiful car. Drives nice. gearbox is starting to wear out on it, and it's jerky. It's got 350,000 k's. These new cars never going to get nowhere near what the old cars do, but it is nice to just hop in. And obviously if I had a full charge last night, or I could charge it up, which I obviously couldn't, it would have been perfect. I could have just hopped in, full charge, beautiful, but that wasn't the case. So obviously I need a bigger extension lead. Even if I did have a big extension lead and plugged in, and I charged for what, 8 hours or 10 hours last night, it would have only probably put about 30 kilometres on, I'd say. So let's have a look at the map. Where's my map? Alright, okay, we've got to go left here. Alright. So, yeah, so that's the issue with the small charger they give me. 15 amp would have been better, or 16 amp, whatever you want to call it. And even better if you had a 7 kilowatt. Even with a 7 kilowatt on an empty battery like this, it would take 10 hours to charge up. So it's obviously slow. Big battery, that's the problem. And this thing just eats the kilowatts. It's not aerodynamic, it's heavy. It doesn't like, you know, it's not the most efficient thing in town. It's a bit of a cheap build for LDV, one of their first ones, and they just whacked the electric motor on the diff. So there's a thing down here called the rail trail, where you obviously walk along the old train lines, and there's one of them. So I think if I've got time and it's not too far from town, we'll walk out here, take some photos and have a look. So that's sort of one okay thing. If you're looking at sightseeing anyway and you have to stop, okay, fair enough, you can charge. But if you're in a rush to get somewhere, something like this is definitely not your go. Just with the charge to get home, I have to spend an extra 2 hours just charging, and that's just pretty much only on 400 k's. So instead of what, 5 hours getting home, it's 7 hours. Which obviously I don't do this all the time, and I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not bagging out these cars, but they are good for some people, and obviously some people they're not good for. So obviously if you're in a city, you didn't do much, you know, you just went away weekends to the beach and whatnot, perfect. But if you're doing long trips like this for a business or a salesman, not yet. Maybe in a couple of years it'll be good, but the problem's going to be is that they're going to put the price of power up, and you're going to be screwed either way. So I'm just going to turn left into August. So here we are. There's supposed to be 2 chargers here. There's a Tesla one and this one. So I've got 32k range left, and see how we go. We're on the passenger side, so let's have a look-see and see if they actually go. Alright, so I'm going to fill up a fair bit on this one, and the only problem with doing this is this is my 3rd app, so it's ChargeBox, this one. There was an EV one before, and then there was a Tesla one, and you just gotta, yeah, fair enough, if you got all the apps set up, it's fine, but it's a bit bloody over the shop. I tried to use my card, that didn't work, so we're doing full whack, 44 kilowatts, so that's good. Let's have a look around at the town and see what we can see. We've got a bit of time to do it now, so a bit of time to walk around, have a look. I've always wanted to sort of see it August. I see properties here for sale all the time, and they're pretty cheap, and I just want to know why they're so cheap. I can sort of tell, but yeah. So here we are walking around August in the morning, about 8 o'clock, 8:30 roughly. I'm just going to put extra juice in the car because it's cheaper here. It's cheaper than the Tesla ones. This one's 40 cents a kilowatt hour. Tesla's about 68. So I've got a bit of time. Have a walk around. Haven't been around this town before. I'm going to look down this car park down here. But yeah, the town's nice. Not many people around. Obviously, it was a booming town back in the days, but it's sort of in the middle of nowhere. It's on the highway, but it's far from places. Still very cheap. You can get a house and land on a decent sized block of land. It was like 200 and something thousand, which is very cheap. And obviously, if you get paid the same wage as you do in Sydney, which you do when you work at a supermarket, you should be doing pretty good. But obviously, people don't want to live down here; they just want to live in Sydney. So yeah, it is far from somewhere. If you're a farmer or you've got some land, wouldn't be a bad spot. So it's just after 8:30. Town's just coming alive. So let's have a look how our charging is doing. I'll get the phone out and have a look here. So we're on ChargeFox. That's the only other thing you sort of got to remember who you're charging with at that time. So we've got 48%. So we put 30 kilowatt hours in there in about 42 minutes. So that's what I was expecting. That'll be perfect enough to go to the next spot. I didn't even need that much, but this, as I said, this place is cheaper. So if I do this one here, you need to be on a phone constantly. That's the problem. Let's have a drive here.
Turn right.
And where are we in my position? No, actually got to charge it more. Wow, I've got to charge it to 40%. So, see how we go. I might charge it fully up. So here we are. There's some toilets here as well, so not a bad little spot. Let's see how we've been going. So we've done 45 kilowatts. It's doing at the moment, and we've put half a tank in. That's pretty good. So I think we'll pack it up for now, and we'll get back on the road and see how we go. Alright, back on the road. We've got 270k range, so see how we go. This I'm going to do normal highway speed, so see how accurate the app is compared to what the vehicle actually does. In the app it says this uses 32 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres, so it's got an 80 kilowatt hour battery. So let's see how accurate that is with the app. So I can adjust it in the app, but I just want to leave it in the app how it is. Drive normal, so we can actually drive normal, if you know what I mean. If you get me drift, me EV drift, sun shining, the climate disaster, climate catastrophe is nearly over with me doing this. I've nearly fixed it. So it's been a while since I've driven down to Melbourne, this road, and I just can't remember it being this small and woody and windy. I suppose I'm in the middle of nowhere. There's not many towns around here. So next stop is about, how far we got? We've got about 20 k's, maybe 20 k's to go. And one thing I just noticed, I overtook a truck, and in eco mode, it's not really, it doesn't have much like response really. But as soon as you put in power mode, you can really, it's a big difference. So I don't know if it's worth driving around in power mode all the time, if it's that much more economical in economy mode. Maybe in power mode around the, you know, the city and stuff. But yeah, you definitely feel a better throttle response, and I don't know how it gets up to 80 to 100% power. So it didn't do it in power mode when I overtook. So yeah, so it's got nice torque going up the hills. It's good to not feel a gearbox kick back 2 or 3 times going up some of these hills, and especially for a truck this heavy, it pulls along pretty well. Alright, so we've got another ChargeFox charger. We're in Can River. Nice little town, just had a meat pie, absolutely beautiful. Beautiful meat pie, steak one, with tomato sauce obviously. So this one's doing the same, about 54 kilowatt. I need a full charge to get to the next town, which is Narooma, which is about 240 k's away. And on the highway, it obviously this thing chews a juice, so I might have to take it a bit easier just this next run. This one's 40 cents a kilowatt. The Tesla is 80, so these are open to the public as well. I might swap it over and then do the rest. It's going to nearly be twice as quick, so see how we go. I'll swap it over and see how we go. Alright, so we swapped over to a Tesla charger just right next door. So that one's 40 cents, this one's 80. I just thought I'd check the speed. This one's a bit quicker, not twice as fast, but it's obviously faster. So a BYD just turned up. That thing can do 150 kilowatts charging rate, so it's a lot. It's well, double my one, so obviously that's worth it at the 80 cents. 80 cents a kilowatt. This one only does 71 kilowatts, so at 80 cents. So yeah, the BYD is obviously much better off using a Tesla charger compared to that one over there, if they haven't got time. So alright, back on the road, 10:40, so I'm not time. So we were here for, look at that, 36 minutes, probably a little bit more with the other one. I stopped the charging because above like 90 it got about down to 40 kilowatts, so this Tesla charger can do 70. So I swapped from that one to the Tesla just to bump it up in speed a bit, but obviously it cost a bit more. It was $30 for half a tank, so a bit annoying. Let's turn this on and then let's have a look at the range. Close the door. 397. So we have to get 240s. So obviously seems easy, but this thing is one thirsty beast. Let's do it. So still driving. I've got about 137 kilometers to go, and the range says 240. So should turn up with plenty of charge. See how we go. So we're turning into, we're coming into Eden. Nice coastal town. Back in New South Wales, so that's good. Still haven't seen a policeman, so I better not talk too loud because obviously there's going to be one somewhere. Never know. Weather's sort of on and off. In this caravan park, this one, I think and there's the lake with the water there as well. Looks nice. Okay, here's an update. We're about 30 k's away or 40 k's away. No, maybe 10. I think it's 10 k's away, sorry. It's in Narooma. And do you know what? The guess meter was actually pretty good. It said I'd have about 90 k's left. Well, I'm going to end up having about 80 k's, which is pretty good. So obviously the app uses a lot more kilowatt hours compared to the actual vehicle, which is good. A bit of a buffer. Narooma's not bad. I need to do a wee, have some lunch anyway, so plug it into the Tesla, and then last stretch is home. Beautiful. Alright, so here we are, Bateman's Bay. So I had to stop for food. I was starving, absolutely starving. So I had to stop for food. I only had about 40 k's left range, and I think I've got about 100 and something k's to go. Plugged into one of these, didn't work. Just backed up and used the other one. Started charging at 70 kilowatts, but then I was in the wrong spot, so I had to turn it off, move it, and then this Tesla turned up. And then when the Tesla turned up, both our rates went down. Well, his went down to 25 kilowatts, and mine was like 7 or something like that. And I was like, bloody what? So I'll show you what he's doing now. He's back up. All right, so we're still charging. It's 100. Let's have a look here. We've got about 107 k's to get home, 170 range. Should I risk it or risk it for a biscuit? I'll do a little bit more in there just in case. So it's going to 176. It's like a kilometre every minute maybe. That's charging at the full speed. So another Tesla turned up, but I'm still on the one by myself. So the other two are down to about 50 kilowatt, but this one is still charging. Had enough time to get a burger, come back out. I think we're good. If we get it to 200, and then we'll go. All right. Sound good? Here we are, Ulladulla. I know when I'm close to home because we get to Ulladulla. So the range is down to 125 and odometer, so I've got about 60 k's to go. So that's actually pretty accurate. So when I get home, it should be on about 60 k's left. 50, I'd say 50 k's left, just to be safe. So it's pretty close. And yeah, just that last charge just needed a bit. Probably put too much in it, but better be safe. It just takes 1 minute extra, and you get a fair bit more range on those 70 kilowatt ones. So 1 or 2 minutes, it's worth it, I think. So the verdict's coming up about the car. I've done 860 k's all up, and you know what? I do like it. It's got a market. It's got a purpose. But I'll explain it closer to when we get home. So this is the local countryside. One thing I want to talk about as well is there's no adjustment of the regen braking, and people say, oh, it needs it, you know, you need to adjust it. I think it is adjustable. It's adjustable with the pedal. So if you lift the pedal fully off, it obviously regens hard. If you have the pedal on slightly, it doesn't regen as much. So I reckon it's really good system. I barely use the brakes coming back from Melbourne. Obviously you use the brakes at stoplights and stuff like that, but when I'm regenning, you know, to stop at stoplights, didn't need it. It was good, and you can just sort of feather the throttle, and you can nearly drive one pedal, like the other EVs with adjustable regen. So I do like it. There's a power meter there, and if I pull off fully, it backs off, and then it gets hard. So obviously it does feel adjustable. It's not the same all the time. It really dependent on how far you got the throttle back. So obviously I go down here. It's a bit of a hill, so I can just back it off. He's got his brakes on in front. I just back it off a bit more, and I can feel it harder, and then it's right off. That's a bit too hard. Put it back on a bit. So yeah, it works nice. Alright, heading on the home stretch. Odometer, 956 kilometres. Had about 40 on it when I left, so 920. That 63k range is it's pretty spot on. That was doing 100. So yeah. Verdict. Let me put some windows up. I think it's a good vehicle. It's not bad. I wouldn't pay. This thing come out in Australia retail 92,000 plus on-road costs, Australian dollars. 92,000. No way. These are now selling new vehicles, no kilometres on them, for about 60 grand, 55 grand. In New Zealand, they're selling for about 40,000 New Zealand dollars. That's how much they've taken a haircut for new ones. A couple second-hand ones in Australia for about 39,000. This was 55 for a grey one. Grey one's hard to come by. Didn't really want a white. Prefer to spend extra money on a grey one. There was a white one there for like 54 or 50, something like that. Grey one's much better. Yeah, so that's one thing. Would I buy it 92 grand? No way. Would I buy it at 55 grand? No. what we paid was good. It was all the help of the government. Otherwise, we wouldn't have got one. And so, how it drives. The seat is hard. It's a two-way adjustable electric seat. It's just pretty much up and down and tilt, back and forth. That's it, two-way. Fairly hard, but it is comfortable. You have to really stop every, well, you really got to stop every 200 and something k's to charge anyway, so in that case, yeah, the seat's good enough. Sound system, not bad, you know, it plays music, that's all I want. Doesn't have all the bells and whistles like all the fancy cars. It could have more stuff on the screen, more charging info, more range and all that type of stuff. That would be nice. The only thing I noticed, which is a bit annoying, it says on here the range. That's the range in kilometres, how much range I've got left. All the charging apps which I've seen or I've used, they ask you to put a state of charge in when you begin your journey. So it's sort of a bit hard to work out state of charge when you only got range left. So that's a bit annoying. You can't change the app to kilometres left. It's state of charge left. If this had a state of charge indicator on the dash, that'll be good. You can get the state of charge indication when you do plug into chargers. The charger will tell you how much, but you got to plug in and do that first. You know, and yes, you can work it out from the fuel meter. You know, obviously 50% is halfway is 50% state of charge, but the bottom section feels to be going a bit quicker. So the ride, not bad. It's a Ute, 2.5 ton. Got to expect it. It's not a Mercedes. It is bouncy. Our roads are pretty bad, but we're not going to do Sydney to Melbourne again in this thing, so wouldn't have to worry about it. Steering wheels, yeah, it's a bit choppy. It feels a bit funny, but again, it's a Ute. It may need, I noticed a lot of weights on one of the wheels. It may need some weights taken off or balanced or something. Footrest, it doesn't have a footrest, which was a bit annoying, and I'm always putting my knee on this section here, which doesn't bother me, but it's just, that's what I do. The only thing I'm a bit worried about, not worried, but need to find out is the handbrake. How strong is the handbrake? Because we've got a boat, and when you obviously put the boat in the boat ramp, you put your car in park, and then you put your handbrake on. Put the handbrake on, and then obviously if I go in neutral, it's going to roll forward. So I've got to do handbrake, and then hopefully it's a decent handbrake. Otherwise, your boats and your car are going into the water. Drink holders are good. The power button and eco does make a difference. The eco button does feel a bit sluggish. Power button, you know, it's obviously got more power. Only annoying thing is, straight off the bat, aircon doesn't work in this thing, which is annoying. So I'll have to bring that back for warranty repair. And home. So all up, 920 kilometres driven. Yeah, I think it's not a bad car for what we need. Not everyone's going to buy one. Not many people have bought one. I think there's only 800 in Australia, and they're probably all mining companies and councils and government departments. Again, wouldn't have bought one without government help. It just does not make any sense to buy this thing. It is thirsty on juice. Thirsty on juice. I go through the range, so is Kitty Cat Walton.